Y'all, let's talk about black love, romantic love, and marriage. Black people have looked at this concept of black love, marriage, family building as a way to liberation. And I would argue that idea is flawed and actually being sold to black people so that we continue to sit around on this earth looking for romance as opposed to liberation. Let me explain. There was a time in history where black people were married at almost an 80% rate. Many would deem this is when black love was real. Black man and woman in the house raising the kid together, while the black man was out here, working, providing for his family. And this is all while dealing only specifically in black areas. Once you drifted out into the cave areas, you were liable to be brutalized, murdered, terrorized, etc. This was black love, black marriage. Now, when we were together like this, we were more of a liberated people, but not because of black love or black marriage, because of necessity. Now let's flash forward a little bit of ways to the civil rights movement, where we fought tooth and nail for the caves to accept us into their businesses, into their schools. Just we wanted to be integrated with the caves. As soon as we had a choice to be integrated with the caves, then our goal came to be accepted by the cave. Let's assimilate to the caves. Married or not. This, to me, is high level, was then and is now, high level cooning. Now, let's take the married black couple. Married black couple, let's say they got a couple kids. Let's say the man even has a good job. The first thing he's going to do is move his family up into cave areas. Because we felt as though at this time this was something revolutionary that was happening. All of our best and brightest wanted to go work for the caves. We became consumed with capitalism. You'll see examples of that to this very day. A black man will invent something and will sell it out to the caves, highest bidder. That's the behavior that we've exhibited throughout history. So instead of building up our areas, we decided that we were going to take our talents over to the caves. That's what we did. This was married or not. So this idea that marriages is going to solidify our liberation is flawed. At the time when we were the most married, upward towards 80%, black men and women still were not liberated. We were just off in our own areas trying to mind our own business. Now the caves wasn't going to allow that, right? Of course they have to terrorize no matter where they go. And particularly when you had the black business owners. If you look at the most people who were lynched, it will be business owners. Who this boy think he is? Uppity nigger. Who does he think he is? We'll lynch him and firebomb his business. That's history here. But now black love is being sold as the equivalent to liberation. And I would argue, hell no. As I look out here amongst black people, and we talk about black love, you'll notice that other groups don't have a love mission or a slogan. White love or Asian love or ain't none of that. It's black love. Because the purpose and goal for black people is to be in a romantic relationship, have some kids, and raise them together. Now, the fact that you're going to raise them as a coon, the fact that you're going to raise them as a self-hater never gets mentioned. That doesn't matter. As long as they're being raised in a two-parent household, which I would argue is better for a child's development. But we're talking about development as it was to a overall human, the psychology of a human being. The balance that creates a better human being. It has nothing to do with pro-blackness, militancy, or any of that. That's different. A lot of times when we run to psychology and we run to, you know, the ideas that we've been passed down given this psychology, we leave pro-blackness ain't got nothing to do with none of that. B123 ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Militancy ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Standing up for yourself as a black man or woman ain't got nothing to do with none of that. We haven't realized that our situation is unique. You can want to just fall in love, get you some kids, raise your kids together, and I'm not saying you can't do that, but that is not going to liberate black people at all. This is why it's being sold to you as liberation. And many black people fall for that. Strong black families. Strong in what? What is the strength founded in? What is the foundation of their strength? It's not pro-blackness. We've seen that historically. Black folk don't fuck with pro-blackness, and or whatever words you may use to describe would be pro-blackness. Black folk don't fuck with it. We've been against it the entire time. It is what it is. These are facts. This may be hard to hear because I'm talking about the way we coon. Married, coons, don't matter. Coons with kids, kid coons. And we raise our children to only seek to be accepted by the caves. Work for the caves. Sell out to the caves for capital. The idea that romance is going to free us is flawed. Now, I'm not saying romance can't be a goal in your life, but that ain't going to do shit for black people. Because even when we was together, as soon as the white man and his mama said, okay, niggas, come on, we'll accept you, our solidarity fell apart even within the marriage. Because our black love is founded or built on romance, other people marry business. You've heard of rich families that will, you know, vet the other person's spouse, arranged marriages. It was about the goal. It was about the mission of the team. That ain't why we get married. They done told y'all it's supposed to be about love. Something that is fleeting, regardless. By and large, it's fleeting. You can't build or liberate a society on those people loving each other. That ain't how it works. You've seen historically how conquering works. It ain't got nothing to do with the conquerors loving the woman or the woman loving the man. It ain't got shit to do with that. Now, what they do have in common is that common enemy, is that common goal. So the cave hoe is going to support the caveman in all his conquering, genocidal behaviors. Everything he does, she going to support him. She going to stick by him. Black people being sold black love as simply romance. Maybe two black people can make some money together. They buy them a big house, take a picture in the front yard, smiling with the kids. That's not liberating black people at all, in any type of way whatsoever. And then you have that very image be attacked through the media, of course. We know that image is going to be attacked through the media. This is why you can't look at TV and see black couples together in no black love, and you damn sure not going to see black couples together on no pro-black love. Pro-black love, you ain't ever going to see no shit like that. Not going to see it. Not going to happen. The examples that we were given were the Huxtables. You got your lawyer and your doctor, they together, they married, they raising their kids together off in the suburbs somewhere. You had that. That's fine. Or you may even have other shows where you have black folk on TV. They may not be rich, but they raising their kids together. But ain't no pro-black militancy shit going on. It's normally clown shit at that point. A whole bunch of clown shit. Y'all can see it, I mean, every day. You can see it all up on TV. Or now they pushing all these interracial couples. I posted about on Instagram, I posted about the show 911. Well, you got Angela Bassett, who's the star of the show. The post that I was even that I posted before that was, well, she's the highest paid TV actress period right now in the nation on this show called 911. Now I tried to watch this show, and I got a few seasons in. But what you see is no black families nowhere. This is how we're being depicted. Her black husband that she had for 12 years, come to find out he gay as hell. Didn't want to be with a woman, he wanted to be with a man. Angela Bassett, I think maybe in season 2 or 3, she decided to marry a cave. And the other black woman on the show is also homosexual. She's married to a woman. This is how we're going to be depicted. Period. So we know we're going to be depicted like this. They're not going to show healthy black couples, in particular, especially not militant black couples. They're not going to show this anywhere, regardless. But we're not producing it anywhere either. We're not producing that. That's not what we're doing. Now, I understand that black people want to believe that just black people being together, taking pictures together, that's enough. But because you black, that's not going to be enough. You can't stop there. Look at me. I had some kids with a black woman and we married. Okay, you did that. Great job. Beautiful. But if that's all you do is have that structure, but no black self-love, then you're done. It doesn't matter anyway. Because your kid's going to be buck dancing and cooning just like you. And that's the issue we won't deal with. When black folk had a choice, they ran and tried to assimilate to the caves. That was our way to get free. That was our path to liberation, was assimilation. And now here we are. What is that, 50? We're looking at about 70 years later. And that shit hasn't meant anything at all. Not one thing. You done assimilated yourself to death. And this society still don't respect you. Not because some of you not married, but because we coons. This myth of black love being a liberating factor needs to be eliminated within our communities. This myth that all black people gotta do is get with another black person, have some kids and raise them together, that's going to liberate our communities. It may be a better look for our communities, but as far as liberation is concerned, it doesn't mean anything. I done met some of the biggest coons in my life, and they had both parents. Those parents taught them, cave Jesus, vote Democrat, and when you see them, change your voice. When you see them, change your hair. That's what you're getting. Whether the mom or dad is single or whether they married, that's still what black folk is getting. That's what we're giving our kids. Cowering. Be scared to tell the truth. That's what you're getting whether your mom and daddy married or not. So what does black love, what does black marriage, what does that have to do with black liberation? That's my question. As we have these conversations about who's worthy to be born or not, all this little shit we talking about, what does any of that have to do with black liberation? Because all everybody want to do is be like, well, I got an idea. Y'all can still be coons though, but I got an idea. That's trash. We cannot continue to coon and be anti-black as we are and white worshiping as we are. There is no structure that is going to lead to liberation as long as we continue to exist this way. Ain't nobody else being sold love as liberation. No one looks at it that way but us. Nobody else. And if you have these people, show me these people. Now, white folk, the caves, they can afford to run around here acting like they in love, because the system is already for them. They can afford to do that. Get them a dog, kiss the dog in the fucking mouth, teach the kids to be this fucking disgusting as well. But the foundation of theirs is not going to be this romantic love. It's going to be the love for themselves, so much so that they don't give a fuck about what happens to you in this society. They shit ain't built on no romance. They shit built on focus. Same with the Asians. They ain't got shit to do with no damn romance. As long as black people stay at the bottom, as long as we're the one in society getting the worst of the worst, then of course everybody else get to sit around and look like they in love, because they not having to fight. We do. And a lot of y'all be trying to skip over your blackness. This ain't your fight. It ain't got nothing to do with you. And that's whether you have both parents or not. How the fuck you explain that? If marriage is the cure-all, if that's going to lead us to black liberation, well, how in hell are two-parent household kids, black kids, still coons? Because we're not dealing with the coon, right? Don't nobody want to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that part. Black people don't want no parts of dealing with this part. You done found you some love. Your grandmama and granddaddy was married for 1,000 years. And all them coons still in your damn family. How? How? If all it takes for black people to be together, you know, this is when we raise the liberation, or the black mind is on a higher frequency. If your grandmama and granddaddy raised or married 50 goddamn years. Your mama's still a coon. Your daddy's still a coon. And you still a damn coon. How the hell is that possible? Somebody explain that to me. If all it takes is black love and black people being married together and raising kids together, well, where the fuck all these coons coming from? It looks to me, no matter what the household set up, single mother, single parent household, single mom raising them, coon. Single father raising them, coon. Married, coon. So regardless of the dynamic, we still some cave worshiping coons. Cowards. How is that possible though? That black love is the key to black liberation. How is this possible? Some would even argue this generational wealth. This is what it's all about. No, that's flawed too. And it's flawed because you can make a will right now. You can write out a will. Whether you married to your kid's mom or child's father or not, you can write out a will right now and leave your money, your assets to whoever the fuck you want. Again, I'm not trying to invalidate y'all's marriages. I'm saying there's no liberation in marriage. Liberation only comes from you realizing that you're at war. The only way you can be liberated is to, one, you got to realize you're at war, and black folk ain't doing that whether they married or not. Walk down the aisle, had a big reception, nice wedding, man never cheats, woman never cheats, they have their kids, raise their kids happily in a good functioning household. Those kids make good grades in school, sending those kids to college, still coons. All of that, still coons. Got your black love, got your black marriage, still coons. Because black marriage, it wasn't what was holding us together back when we were married at this rate. That wasn't what was holding us together. It's that we couldn't go nowhere else. That motherfucker beat me upside my damn head when I go up there. And he beating you upside your head too. So what we chose to do was to leave our house and fight to be closer to these motherfuckers. To get equal rights and protections under this government. 70 plus years later, here we are. Still. Fight didn't change. Fight ain't changed at all. Pro-blackness is still not something that black people want to deal with. Black folk want to have fun, be free. Have these kids. No black pride whatsoever. Get married, no black pride instilled in neither bride or groom, no black pride whatsoever. As soon as you had the option, you chose the caves. And you're still choosing the caves to this very day. How do you explain that? I want somebody to explain this shit to me. How? 80% marriage rate. Still being terrorized, brutalized. Now we're about a 25% marriage rate. Still being terrorized, brutalized. Black pride wasn't built then on having actual black pride. Those are black people that were going through it. So the experience bonded them. Now these niggas will tell you, well shit man, I ain't got no problem with the college. I ain't got no problem getting no job. I ain't got no problem getting no education, so it ain't my problem. I ain't worried about the rest of you niggas. And that's the product of a two-parent household. That's the product of a single-parent household. That's the product of grandma raising them. Something could have happened to the parents. Grandma raising the kids. It don't matter who raising black kids and what structure black kids are being raised in, they're still coons. How in the hell do you get to liberation? How is it possible to get to any black liberation? Or are we gonna have to be real about the fact that that ain't black folks' goal? Those ain't our goals for real. That's the point I'm at. I mean, that's where I am. I can't speak for nobody else, but I see that's not our goal. That ain't our goal to raise our kids to know what the fuck going on in the world. Those aren't our goals. We want to raise our kids so they can go get a job for the caves or to be accepted by the caves in whatever industry they're in. That's it, that's all. But you're being sold black love as liberation, and you have black people who believe that black love is liberation. We love seeing the images. I love seeing the images. Black men and women together, I love seeing those images. But now, these days, and for a while for me, I look at them and wonder, damn, I wonder if they kids some coons. Good chance they are. Good chance they coons themselves. We'll see pictures from weddings, don't we? We'll see black people dance and do electric slide at the wedding and all this shit. And black love, that's what I want my wedding to be like, you know. All this shit. That ain't doing nothing for us. That's not doing anything for our people as far as liberation is concerned. Because we're not teaching liberation. We're teaching that the goal is black love, romance. And many of us get distracted with this. Our women get distracted with this heavy. Gotta get married, gotta get married, gotta get married, gotta get married, gotta get married by this age. Or you're unacceptable. You got these coon ass niggas out here telling black women they unacceptable if they're not married. Not if she a coon, that she's unacceptable. Because that's my argument. I don't give a fuck about marriage or whether you're a single mother or not. Are you a coon? Because then that's what makes you unacceptable to me. The rest of the shit, I could care less than nothing about. Are you a coon? Are you raising your kid to be a coon? Are you raising them to have pride? Or are you raising them to be cowards? And that's why we're dealing with this 99% coon rate. Because we too focused on fucking romance. Nobody else is. They can play like they is, put it on TV in front of y'all, and y'all be believing it. They focused on white supremacy. They focused on Asian supremacy. They focused on Hispanic supremacy, or so-called, We not focused on none of that. None of that. And my question is why? And we wasn't even focused on it then. Back in the day when we was all married, we wasn't focused on it then. We just wanted the white man and his mama to stop whooping our ass so bad. I just want to walk up the street. That's all. I want to walk up the street without being terrorized. I want you to put some laws in there that says you can't just whoop my ass like this, like all out in the streets like this. Many would argue that it was the so-called feminist movement. Some would argue it was the welfare program. I would argue it was because all the motherfuckers was coons. How you gonna focus if you're a coon? You don't even see what's going on out here. White worshiping, cave worshiping behaviors. You don't even see what's going on. Couldn't have been the feminist movement, really. Could it? Could it have really been the feminist movement? When we look at our people right now, we distracted by all types of movement, BLM being one. How are you gonna blame women for that? The fact of the matter, those women was raised to be coons. Women being raised to be coons right now. Men being raised to be coons. Everybody's being raised to be a coon. And thus, black love, black marriage, black households, that shit don't mean anything. You just like, it would be like the equivalent of the sisters coming to count the people in your house. That's it. That's all a black household is, a number. Black household 4. Black household 5. That's it. The black part is just a matter of your race. It's not an ideology. It's not a mentality. It's just what color you are, what race you are. Black folk. It ain't got nothing to do with pride. Sure, you may season your food. You may dance a little better. But that shit ain't liberating black folk. But that's what black culture is. Being on rhythm. That's what it is. So black love don't matter because when you just put race right there with no framing, the following word don't matter. So black marriage means nothing. Black household means nothing. Black love means nothing at all as far as liberation is concerned. Those are images. Those are nice pictures. We haven't realized that yet. Nobody else operating like that but us. Romance, romance, love, 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 romance, love. I want to find me a man. I want to find me a woman. That's it. Find them for what? Find you a man for what? So y'all can make some coons together? Find you a woman for what? So y'all can make some coons together? set the idea in your child's mind that capitalism is everything. Money, 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 money. That's where you got all these fucking sellouts coming from. Money. Get the bag, secure the bag. Don't fumble the bag. Money. This is why our liberation has been so stagnant. That's all the fuck I wanted to say, man. I want y'all to tell me how y'all feel about this, because I know that people probably not gonna like it, but it's facts. I mean, for optics purposes, yeah, fine. Black love, black marriage, whatever. But for liberation purposes, it means nothing. We have to get on the same team. That's what it's gonna take. That's gonna be my message. If you want to argue with me about it, that's fine. I may even open up a panel or some shit and we can talk about this shit on there. But I really want to see what y'all got to say. Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, if you look back through history now, just look back. When black men and women knew who the fuck their enemy was, they was together. I don't think marriage is what held people together. I think it was recognizing who the fuck their enemy are, what they were fighting. Now there's confusion. So even black marriage won't mean shit. Black marriage ain't gonna liberate black folk. Black love ain't gonna do it. Black kids raised 2-parent household, that ain't gonna do it. It's gonna be about the principles and values that you're instilling on your kid, that you have within yourself, and instilling on your children. Period. Married, single household, it don't matter. That's what I think. But y'all let me know what y'all think. All right? Mad love to everybody that watches. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Shout out to Team Rob, y'all already know what the fuck it is. Black first, second, and third. I'm out.